Welcome to Sleep Begins. The day is over, the night is here, and it's time to give yourself permission to rest. Settle beneath your blankets, get comfortable, and allow the noise of the day to slowly fade away. Whether you're settling into bed or simply looking for a moment of peace, you've found the perfect place to unwind. Now, let's begin. In a quiet little town, tucked between rolling hills and a sleepy forest, there once lived a girl named Cinderella. She had a gentle heart, soft brown eyes, and a habit of humming softly while she worked. Her home was a modest house with a low wooden ceiling, a stone hearth, and windows that let in the last golden light of every evening. Long ago, before sorrow found her, Cinderella had lived happily with her father. But after he passed, she was left in the care of her stepmother and two stepsisters, Drusilla and Anastasia. They were not cruel in loud, dramatic ways. Their unkindness was quieter than that, the sort that wears a person down slowly, like water smoothing a stone over many, many years. Cinderella quietly slept in a small attic room beneath the roof, where the wind hummed through the eaves at night like a lullaby only she could hear. Her days were spent sweeping floors, mending torn hems, and tending a fire that never seemed to warm the whole house. Only the little corner near the ashes where she liked to sit and rest her tired hands. It was there, curled beside the glowing embers, that she earned her name, for cinders often clung to her apron and settled into the folds of her sleeves. Despite everything, Cinderella found small comforts. She loved the hush of early mornings, before anyone else stirred, when frost traced delicate patterns on the window pane and the world outside felt hushed and still. She loved the barn cat who curled against her ankles while she worked, and the doves that gathered on the sill each dawn, cooing as though they understood her thoughts. In the evenings, once her chores were finally done, she would sit near the fading fire and watch the last embers glow orange, then amber, then a soft, sleepy gray. The old floorboards creaked beneath her in a way that felt almost familiar, almost kind, like an old friend settling in for the night beside her. Outside, the wind moved gently through the trees, brushing the branches together in a slow, steady rhythm that reminded her of a song without words. Sometimes she would trace the shapes of clouds through the small attic window, imagining faraway places she might never see. Castles wrapped in mist, meadows heavy with dew, rivers that wound quietly through unfamiliar towns. These thoughts never made her sad. They simply gave her somewhere gentle to rest her mind when the world around her felt heavy. One afternoon, a royal messenger arrived in town, his horse's hooves echoing softly against the cobblestones. He carried a folded parchment sealed with wax, an invitation from the palace. The kingdom was to host a grand ball, 3 evenings of music and dancing, and every eligible maiden in the land was invited to attend. The prince, it was said, hoped to find someone whose company brought him true happiness, not merely someone suited for a crown. News of the ball spread through the household like warmth through a winter blanket. Drusilla and Anastasia argued for hours over ribbons and gloves, while their mother fussed over fabric swatches spread across the parlor table. Cinderella, listening from the hallway, allowed herself a small, hopeful thought. Perhaps, just this once, she might attend as well. She found an old gown that had belonged to her mother, tucked away in a trunk beneath the stairs, and spent her rare quiet evenings gently repairing it by candlelight, humming softly to herself as her needle moved in slow, careful stitches. She imagined the warm glow of chandeliers, the soft murmur of violins, and for the first time in a long while, she let herself dream. But when the evening finally came, her stepsisters discovered the dress and, in a flurry of jealousy, tore it apart before her eyes. The ribbons unraveled, the lace crumpled to the floor. Cinderella said nothing. She simply sank onto the cold stone step outside, the evening air settling around her like a heavy quilt, and let herself weep quietly beneath a sky just beginning to darken into blue. It was then that the garden seemed to hush, as though holding its breath. A soft light gathered near the old fountain, gentle as candlelight through fog, and from it stepped an elderly woman wrapped in a shawl the color of moonlight. She introduced herself simply as a friend, one who had watched over Cinderella from afar for longer than she knew. With a calm smile, the woman raised her weathered hand. She asked Cinderella to fetch a pumpkin from the garden, along with 6 mice from the little trap by the pantry, 2 lizards resting near the well, and a single tired rat dozing by the woodpile. Cinderella, though puzzled, did exactly as she was asked, moving softly through the darkening yard. With a gentle tap of her hand, the woman transformed the pumpkin into a carriage, its surface smooth and glowing like polished amber. The mice became 6 horses, pale as moonlight, standing calm and patient in their harnesses. The rat became a coachman with a kind, steady face, and the lizards became footmen who bowed low and settled into their places. Finally, the woman turned to Cinderella herself. With the faintest wave of her hand, the torn gown mended itself into something new entirely, a dress the color of a clear evening sky, soft and flowing, catching the last light like water catching starlight. On her feet appeared slippers made of glass, delicate yet unbreakable, cool and smooth like river stones. Before Cinderella climbed into the carriage, the woman offered one gentle warning. The magic, she explained, would last only until the final chime of midnight. After that hour, everything would return to what it once had been. Cinderella nodded, tucking the words away like a small stone in her pocket, and settled into the soft velvet seat as the carriage rolled quietly into the night. The palace, when she arrived, glowed like a lantern set upon a hill. Warm light spilled from every window, and laughter drifted out into the courtyard like distant music. Cinderella stepped inside, and the great hall fell into a hush, the way a room settles when snow begins to fall outside. Heads turned. Whispers rippled gently through the crowd, though she barely noticed, her attention already drawn toward the grand staircase. There, descending slowly, was the prince. Their eyes met, and something quiet and certain passed between them. The way warmth passes between 2 hands held close beside a fire. He crossed the room and offered his hand, and together they moved into the dance, turning slowly beneath the chandeliers, as though the rest of the evening simply faded into soft candlelight around them. They spoke of small, unimportant things at first, gardens and old books, the sound of rain against rooftops, the particular hush of a house at night. Yet, beneath the simple words, something deeper grew, a kind of ease neither had expected to find. Hours passed like minutes, the music drifting on, soft and unhurried, wrapping the evening in something close to a dream. Around them, Candles flickered gently in silver holders, their light spilling in warm pools across the polished floor. Every so often, a breeze drifted through the open terrace doors, carrying with it the faint scent of blooming jasmine from the palace gardens below. Couples turned slowly beneath the high ceiling, their laughter soft and unhurried, blending with the low hum of violins into something almost like a hush of its own. Cinderella found herself forgetting, for those few precious hours, the cold hearth, the torn ribbons, the years of quiet weariness. She felt only the warmth of the prince's hand in hers, steady and calm, and the strange, comforting sense that she had somehow found her way home, even standing in a place she had never once seen before that night. Then, faint but unmistakable, the first chime of midnight rang out across the hall. Cinderella startled, remembering the promise she had made. She pulled gently away, offering a hurried, breathless farewell, and rushed toward the palace doors as the clock continued its slow, steady count. The prince called after her, but she was already halfway down the marble steps, moving as quickly as her thoughts allowed. In her haste, one glass slipper slipped from her foot and came to rest upon a single stone step, catching the moonlight like a small, quiet miracle. She did not turn back for it. There was no time. She hurried into the waiting shadows of the garden just as the final chime sounded, and the carriage, the horses, the gown, all dissolved gently back into pumpkin, mice, and worn, familiar cloth. Cinderella walked home slowly beneath a sky full of soft, scattered stars, the night wrapping around her like a well-worn blanket. She felt strangely light despite everything, as though something warm had settled quietly into her chest and refused to leave. She slipped back into her attic room, curled beneath her thin quilt, and let the memory of the evening carry her gently towards sleep. The following morning, news spread through the kingdom that the prince intended to find the maiden who had left behind her slipper. He would visit every household, allowing each maiden to try it upon her foot until the rightful owner was found. Drusilla and Anastasia received the news with great excitement, each certain the slipper would somehow fit her own foot, despite neither having attended in quite that manner. When the royal procession finally reached their quiet little house, the stepsisters pushed and squeezed, determined despite discomfort, yet the delicate glass would not yield. Cinderella watched from the corner near the hearth, cinders still clinging to her apron, saying nothing, expecting nothing. Yet the prince, glancing gently toward her, asked softly whether she, too, might wish to try. Her stepmother protested, insisting it would be a waste of everyone's time, but the prince, calm and unhurried, simply waited. Cinderella stepped forward and the room grew quiet, the way a house grows quiet just before sleep. She sat, and the slipper slid onto her foot as though it had been made for no one else, fitting exactly, gently, completely. A hush fell over the room, softer than falling snow. The prince's eyes softened with quiet recognition, and Cinderella, feeling suddenly steady despite her racing heart, reached into her apron pocket and drew out the matching slipper she had carried home that night. In that quiet moment, everything felt settled, calm and entirely certain, like the final page of a long, gentle story finally closing. What followed unfolded slowly without great fanfare, the way morning light spreads gradually across a room. Cinderella left the small attic behind, though she carried its quiet lessons with her, the value of patience, the comfort found in small kindnesses, the warmth that could be found even in the coldest corners of a home. She and the prince were married beneath soft candlelight, surrounded by people who wished them nothing but peace. In the years that followed, Cinderella never forgot the hush of early mornings or the particular comfort of sitting near a warm hearth. She often wandered the palace gardens at dusk, watching the sky soften into blue, remembering the fountain, the shawl the color of moonlight, and the gentle woman who had once offered her a night she would carry gently for the rest of her life. And so, in that quiet corner of the kingdom, beneath soft candlelight and slow, unhurried evenings, Cinderella's story settled into something like a lullaby, a tale told softly from one generation to the next, carried on the hush of falling night, gentle as embers cooling slowly beside a dying fire. The old house near the hearth stood long after, its windows glowing faintly some evenings, as though the walls still remembered the girl who once hummed softly beside the ashes. And somewhere, beneath a darkening sky, that quiet story lingers still, gentle as sleep itself, drawing softly near.